Are you friends with people who drain your energy, make you feel bad all the time, or stop you from being your best self? Great samurai Miyamoto Musashi thought that discipline makes you strong, not just in fight, but also in the people you let into your life. Based on Musashi's timeless wisdom, this video will show you 9 powerful ways to deal with toxic friends. Step 1. Trust your gut. A famous warrior and strategist named Miyamoto Musashi thought that ignoring your gut can cause you to suffer needlessly. Toxic bonds might not seem bad at first, but over time, they might show what they really are. They might put you down in a sneaky way, stop you from following your dreams, or make everything about them. It's important to pay attention to how toxic friendships make you feel, because your gut sense can pick up on patterns that your conscious mind might miss. It's not a coincidence if a friendship makes you feel used, disrespected, or mentally drained all the time. Musashi says that the best way to handle life is to be clear and know yourself. Trust yourself if you think something is wrong. Your inner knowledge will lead you to the truth. Think about whether the friendship makes you feel valuable, celebrates your successes, or is a source of constant drama and negativity. If there were signs of danger, a warrior would get ready, change, or even leave if they had to. Listen to your gut, believe it, and do what it tells you to do. For your own safety. Step 2. Stop making excuses for them. Miyamoto Musashi thought that things should be seen for what they really are. In battle and in everyday life, he lived by the concept of clarity, which means getting rid of illusions. When we have toxic friends, the biggest lie we tell ourselves is that their behavior is okay. How many times have you said, "That's the way things are"? Things are hard for them. They don't mean to act this way. The reasons given here keep you stuck in a bad friendship. Things that people do really do talk louder than words. It's not a mistake if someone treats you badly, tries to control you, or drains you over and over again. It's a habit. See what you can't see with your eyes, Musashi once said. This means going beyond words and into the real world. A bad friend might say sorry but never change, say they're sorry but aren't sorry, or be nice only when they need something. They may say nice things, but what they do shows otherwise. When you give someone a pass for bad behavior, you let it happen again. You teach them that you will put up with anything they do. This hurts your self-respect and makes you question your own reasoning over time. Musashi thought that a fighter should get rid of things that aren't needed. It's not worth having a friendship that causes more pain than happiness. Stop making excuses. That's the first thing that will set you free. If someone hurts you over and over, know that it's not a mistake. There's a pattern. Do they change, or do they just say they will? A good friend will know what your limits are. A bad one will not care about them. Musashi's teachings show us that real power comes from being clear and taking action. Don't make excuses for friends who are bad for you. Take back your power and see them for what they are. Step 3. Limit your availability. Miyamoto Musashi was a famous person in the fields of discipline and time management. He said that a warrior should always be focused. He thought that time was a tool that could be used wisely to shape one's fate. It is important to limit your availability when you have toxic friends who need instant attention or approval. To do this, you have to be deliberate with your time and ask yourself if the friendship is helpful, if the other person respects your time and goals, and if you feel mentally drained after spending time with them. If these answers point to a bad relationship, making limits and using less energy can help. Musashi's ideas can also be used to improve partnerships. It is important to protect time and energy because not everyone should have endless access to themselves. Pick the people you interact with based on the ones that truly make you feel good. You can choose who to interact with if you have a strong mind, and you need to start doing that today. Step 4. Don't engage in their negativity. Miyamoto Musashi thought that a fighter should always keep his mind safe. Distractions can kill you in war, and they can do the same damage to your life. Toxic friends love gossip, complaints, and drama that never stops. You give them power over your feelings, drain your energy, and pull you into their destructive way of thinking if you join in with their negativity. It's easy for negativity to spread. A bad friend will always be negative and complain about work, relationships, and life in general. They will force you to talk about things that make them angry and unhappy. They will keep going if you answer. But the truth is that most poisonous people don't want help. They want to be heard. They don't want help. They want praise. They get exactly what they want when you join in with their negativity. Musashi taught that even when things are going crazy, a fighter should stay calm inside. That means you need to learn how to ignore bad things. Do not argue, protect, or give advice. Instead, practice emotional distance. When an unhealthy friend starts yelling, stay calm. Say things like, "I get it. That sounds hard. I hope things get better for you." Inviting more trouble or making them more negative doesn't help. They will eventually learn that you are not an emotional fuel source for them, and they will either change how they act or look for someone else to vent their anger at. Musashi also thought that energy should be saved for important things. Being negative hurts your mind, loses your time, and pulls you away from your own path. Focus on being around people who make you feel good, push you, and bring good things into your life instead. A clear mind doesn't get lost in other things. Your peace and power are back in your hands when you refuse to be negative. Step 5. Call out their behavior, if it's worth it. As a master of being direct, Miyamoto Musashi thought that a fighter should never be afraid to stand up to wrongdoing. If a poisonous friend is always being rude or manipulative, telling them what they're doing might be the only way to get them to stop. However, some fights are not worth it, and some people won't change. Before you approach a toxic friend, you should ask yourself if they really care about you, if they have shown any signs of wanting to change, and if they are toxic because they don't know any better or because they want to be that way. If you think they can grow, be honest with them to help them see the harm they are doing. Talk to them quietly and use I statements to show how you feel. If they get angry, blame you, or try to gaslight you, let them go. Musashi believed in being clear and taking strong action. A fighter doesn't waste time on people who don't want to grow. Step 6. Set non-negotiable boundaries. Miyamoto Musashi knew how important order and discipline were. As a warrior, he was always aware of what was going on around him and set clear limits to keep himself and his goals safe. In the same way, you need to set clear, firm limits in your life, especially when it comes to bad friends. Having limits isn't just about keeping your time safe. It's also about keeping your mind, body, and emotions healthy. When a toxic friend does something wrong, you need to be strict. In the same way that Musashi wouldn't put up with pointless distractions and fight, you shouldn't put up with disrespect or manipulation in your relationships either. Making it clear that your peace, values, and personal growth come first is what it means to set limits. They might say things like, "Don't let them control your feelings or make you feel bad for setting limits." Make them aware that you value your time and will not drop everything to meet their needs. Tell them straight out what actions are not okay, like lying, spreading rumors, or putting you down. It takes strength and self-respect to set these limits. Musashi taught us that focus leads to freedom. Being clear about your limits will help you live a life where your ideals and health are valued and not harmed. When you set limits, they are not walls that keep other people out. Instead, they are shields that keep your energy safe. If someone really cares about you, they will follow your rules. If they fight back, it's a clear sign that they might not want what's best for you. Musashi would pick a fight with purpose and strategy. Similarly, you need to plan ahead for when to enforce these rules and keep the peace. Step 7. Replace them with positive influences. One of Miyamoto Musashi's main ideas is that you should hang out with people who make you feel good, not people who bring you down. In the same way that a soldier must pick his allies carefully for fight, you must pick your friends carefully for life. You couldn't just train with anyone. Musashi only trained with people who were strong, focused, and thought like him. If a bad friend is always draining your energy or getting in the way of your growth, it's time to change your focus. Instead of letting negative people take over your life, start surrounding yourself with positive people who inspire you to transform into a better person. The people you spend time with have a direct effect on how you think, what you do, and how successful you are. One of the most important ideas in Musashi's teachings is that power comes from both your own mastery and the strength of your surroundings as a whole. People who motivate, push, and help you reach your goals are called positive forces. People in this group want you to grow, enjoy your wins, and be there for you when things get tough. Insecurities and putting you down are not signs of a true friend. Instead, they push you to rise above and do great things. Find people who share your hobbies and values, who will push you to think deeply, and who will encourage you to keep getting better. An encouraging group of friends can be a huge source of energy and ideas. By putting time and effort into these connections, you will create an atmosphere that encourages growth, happiness, and strength. This change will not only make your daily life better, but it will also set you up for more success in every area. Remember that you should spend time with people who make you better, just like Musashi trained with the best. Step 8. Detach emotionally. Miyamoto Musashi was very good at keeping his emotions in check. He knew that a fighter must not let his feelings get in the way of his strength in battle. He thought that one of the best qualities a person could have was detachment, which means being able to stay centered and focused no matter what was going on around them. This same advice can help you deal with friends who are bad for you. When someone is poisonous, they often enjoy playing with your feelings. It's for their own benefit that they want you to feel guilty, angry, or sad. You lose power if you let their acts control how you feel all the time. To really deal with toxic friends, you have to mentally separate yourself from how their actions make you feel. When you mentally distance yourself from someone, it doesn't mean you stop caring about them. It just means you stop letting their bad behavior affect your mood, your thoughts, and your choices. You take back control of your emotions when you refuse to let what they do affect how you feel inside. Musashi wrote about the idea of emptying the mind in his book of 5 Rings. This means that the warrior's mind is clear and nothing can confuse them. In the same way, mentally separating yourself from toxic friends clears your mind of the bad energy they try to put on you. Mindfulness is a good way to start mentally separating yourself. When you start to feel down, remember that these feelings don't make you who you are. You can stay cool and answer, or you can choose not to answer at all. Remove yourself from the situation and watch how they act without letting it hurt you. Being emotionally detached lets you act from a strong and clear place instead of one where you are reacting emotionally. Musashi used to say that a warrior's mind, not his sword, gives him power. The best tool you have is also your mind. Step 9. Know when to walk away for good. Being able to tell when to leave someone is one of the hardest things in life, and Musashi knew this very well. According to his ideas, a fighter should always think about what's going on and act clearly. It is not a sign of strength to hold on to things that no longer help you. Letting go of a bad relationship, a destructive friendship, or a link that isn't meant to be there takes a lot of courage and smarts. You'll reach a point where nothing else can be done. You've made clear what your thoughts are, set limits, and even pulled away. Still, the harmful action keeps happening. Now is the best time to remember what Musashi taught you. Know when to let go and move on. It's not a sign of failure to walk away. It's a strong choice. It's like staying stuck in the mud. If you choose to stay in a relationship that drains you, makes you feel bad about yourself, or stops you from growing. It keeps you from moving on and finding the relationships and life that will really make you strong. Ask yourself, is this friendship making me better? Am I always giving but not getting the same support and respect in return? Does this person make my life stronger or weaker? It's time to leave if the answer is no. Like a warrior gets rid of an old weapon that doesn't help him, you need to get rid of ties that are holding you back. Letting go shows that you believe in your own worth. Being honest with yourself is a sign of respect and a key part of having a strong, meaningful life. Remember that Musashi didn't hold on to the past or things that weren't important to him. He always kept his eyes on the road ahead. Yours should be the same way. When you need to walk away and give yourself room to grow. This will help you find the real, helpful relationships that will drive your journey.